Well, thanks for staying with us. Today's guests know all about the heartache of having a prodigal for decades. Their son fell into addiction, ended up homeless, and they had to make some incredibly painful decisions as parents. But a miracle started to unfold right in front of their eyes, and now God is using their story to help other prodigal parents. Harvey and Darlene Johnson, thank you so much for being here today. And this is a really important topic because, as you know, there are so many parents and grandparents who have prodigals, okay? Tell us a little bit about your adventure of being a prodigal parent, okay?
Okay. It was almost a 26-year run at that. My son became homeless and finally decided to go into a Christian recovery. And he went in there and was miraculously healed. It was a Christian recovery. And during that time, I let go. Mm-hmm. And when I finally let go, I was his enabler. For years, I kept trying to save him.
Talk about that. Talk about the 20 years of trying to help and a little bit about that. Tell us what you went through there.
Bailing him out of jail, raising his children, paying car payments, doing anything because I kept thinking, if I just do this one more time, just one more time, which led into almost 26 years of just a heartache. It was a 24/7 grief that never stopped.
Yes. Talk about what it feels like to carry a prodigal. It's like you're almost carrying them like a child again. Like
it is. It was like, you know, you can see them, but you can't get them. Mm-hmm. And it was the most traumatic thing I've ever experienced. But I didn't realize that I was suffering grief. And it was a nonstop thing. And it...
like you wake up in the morning with it.
You never stop thinking about it. You never stop thinking about it.
Right.
And it's just that one more time, if I just one more time. And Harvey would say, Darlene, let go. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, men think differently about prodigals. They do, and that makes it hard. Harvey, talk about your journey of years here carrying this boy.
Yeah, it's been a journey for sure. We've tried to, Darlene's tried to do everything for him, and I certainly tried to encourage her to let go and let him find his way on his own.
Have some consequences, yes. Because we know as men need consequences sometimes.
That's right. So, but it's been an amazing journey. After he got out of the recovery center that he was in, I didn't even want to trust him to come back home, so to speak.
Right.
And it was just amazing when he was saved and at the Home of Grace was where he was at. But the difference now is just unbelievable.
Talk to me as a dad, what the prayers were like, how it affected you watching her cry.
Well, I'm even having to take her to the hospital with, just having nervous breakdowns. Mm-hmm. It was terrible. I hated him for it, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it was almost where our marriage was being lost to.
Yeah, this is what a lot of parents don't know, because you'll disagree with how to handle it. Men and women are different.
Yes.
Okay? Men are like, let God spank them, and we'll just go on with our life. And women are like, no, don't no spankings, those spankings, please, and all of that. And then you can start fussing about it, and it can start creating some distance and pain inside the marriage.
Right.
And then in your case, you actually absorbed the grandchildren, right? So talk about day in, day out reminder, because you had to take these little guys to school and make lunches and
exactly,
and you're a little older this time, so it's more expensive on you physically and emotionally than when you were younger, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of grandparents, you're raising their children and you have prodigals, and I know you can connect to this story. And for you guys, when was the moment of like, we got to let this go? Like, where did that happen?
He was in recovery, and he got sick and was taken to the hospital and called me from the recovery center, crying, screaming, saying, "Mom, come get me. I'm dying. I'm broke out from head to toe." And I almost said, "Oh my gosh, I have to go get him." And I looked down and saw the kids sitting on the floor crying. And I thought, "No, I'm not coming to get you. If something happens, they will call me. That is your home." And I hung up the phone and I woke up in the hospital because I really thought that if I let go, that it would be my fault. But the minute I let go is when God put his hands on. And I stepped back, and it's been a journey.
That's an important lesson, isn't it?
It was a very important lesson.
It's not easy as a mom to let go.
No, I had a mental breakdown. I've suffered memory loss, but I never related it to trauma. And this teaching has brought everything into perspective for me.
Oh, good.
When I read this, it was like Jesus came off the pages and started healing me. It revolutionized my thinking, and it brought everything into perspective.
Because you didn't realize that there actually is a parent prodigal process, and then that you were being traumatized.
No, I didn't have any idea.
And you didn't know that your grief was normal.
No.
Or that, Harvey, your anger was normal.
That's right.
You know, and for you, when was that moment of kind of like just, all right, God, he's yours, like, I'm letting go?
Yeah, I mean, we had gone to several counselors, and the counselors would kind of like agree with my thinking.
Probably so.
But Darlene just would keep hanging on and hanging on to.
Moms do that.
Mama's boy. That's Mama's baby. But it finally, I think he just finally, like she says, when she finally hit that rock bottom deal where she knew she had done wrong by doing good. By him, at least his thoughts anyway. But
how was it like to get your wife back?
It was wonderful.
Talk about that a little bit.
Well, we just like I said earlier, our marriage was failing it. When things started getting better, it was just the Lord just started blessing us. Just marvelous, you know, how to have her back, my wife, my loving wife.
Right. Because it takes, when you have a prodigal, it takes a piece of your heart out of
certainly
your marriage and out of your life.
That's right.
And it's there, and that's what's so hard when you're carrying a prodigal. And if you are carrying a prodigal, I want you to know you can call us. There's a number on your screen if you need prayer, because it's the hardest thing you'll ever do. And it's not just hard for a night. It's not a night. This is years or decades of crying. This is years or decades asking God. This is years or decades of believing, and Lord, help my unbelief. It's a journey that's like the valley of the shadow of, I hope this works out, okay? And we don't know what to do. And if you're that person, we want you to call number. We're going to pray with you for sure and all of that. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about with Harvey and Darlene about what they did with the pain and how they helped others, okay? So you don't want to miss this, because this is one of the shows that you're going to want to share on social media with your friends who are carrying your prodigal, because it hurts to carry them.